a single digits right before half. What do? Boom, get a bucket. Boom, get a great call out of half
we
right before the half.
respond to runs like
God.
nobody's business.
Man, we never change expressions. It's a beautiful thing.
We respond to runs. We go get big buckets, Steve. When rain hits
Marcus, by the way,
go ahead.
What about me this morning? Today was the first day that I got to get snooty with Diener and Blankenbaker.
I'm listening.
They were talking about the play. Yeah, they were talking about the play before half, and it was like, I don't think that was a call. And look, I got to come in. I was like,
ooh. Ooh,
it was a simple.
Do they not know the gravitational pull of Rain Smith?
Oh, listen. I was like, guys, I said it's a simple Spain action. You just put Rain Smith at the bottom. You come off a screen as the top. You let Rain set the back screen.
Yes.
And then you just watch everybody go one way. I was like, God, that's such a. I'm like, look, I walked out with my hand in the air. I was like, it's totally a player judgment call. Gosh. Shut the door and walked out with my coffee.
I can vouch.
Yeah, don't you guys know anything about basketball?
Don't you know a simple
Hey, I mean,
God,
a simple European action. God.
Steve just learned it. Steve learned it 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know. And now I'm like, you guys don't know how to do that? Like, that's just a call.
Listen,
stop giving coach so much credit.
Right. Look, speaking of calls, let's get to the phone lines. Kent, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Good morning, Marcus and Steve. Man, I got to call that. My wife and I went out last night to a local establishment to watch the game, and that pass to me for right now is the play of the year. I mean, the execution, the vision, and the fact, that he knew how to pass that around that fella, and the fact that the other guy was looking for the ball, that's the highlight of the year for me.
Yeah, man, Kent,
good call.
Listen, good call, man. Appreciate the call. You're not wrong either. I mean, that's a wraparound pass, Marcus. And let me tell you this, a wraparound pass, I almost called you because I know this is right in your wheelhouse. They were allowing NC State to be physical, and they were not allowing us to be physical. And that's another part of that game last night. It was like when they start coming back a little bit, I'm a little nervous about that part because I'm going, they're allowing them to be handsy. Mm-hmm. Like they're treating them like they're the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
And on that play in particular, Terrence Edwards is getting grabbed. He's getting pushed. Mm-hmm. He comes off. He gives it a little flip to James Scott, comes around, and you're like, and he's getting held on the come around. James Scott gets bumped, has a wraparound to him, and I'm going, man, like that's getting a bucket while getting fouled, essentially. Like, that's what else made that so impressive. Was right in the middle of that time when the refs were just like, hey, well, we're going to swallow the whistle here,
And before we get back to the phone lines, let me say this. Add that to the pride department of the game last night. It could have, listen, shame on that staff. Shame, I'm sorry, the officiating crew. Shame on you. Mm-hmm. We had the superior team. The thing I respect about these referees so often is I know they know what good basketball looks like, and they know how to keep it clean. And they know the reasons sometimes you get charges and sometimes you don't, because it's like, no, fundamentally sound, they'll make the right call if you do it with fundamentals. They were not. And listen, and being that we had a better team, I was agitated because I'm like, you're letting this game get chippy. You're gonna put our team in a bad position, and we're winning by 26 points. And it wasn't like a 26 points that you can't manipulate that 26 points. When our guys are getting open off, okay. When we get a steal, I'm just going random plays. I'm not going to do the deep dive into particulars. When you get Chucky Hepburn and we're in the 3-on-1 and we go find Rain Smith for a three-pointer, we're executing better than the opponent. We're hitting our shots. We're taking good shots. That can't be manipulated, and the referees let it get sloppy. and let it get tick-tacky. And it was like they were interjecting some crap into the game that shouldn't have been there. That second half should not have took that long at all.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was frustrated, with that, but I was thankful for my team keeping their composure and their personality, and like I said, just another proud point. Judge, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, Judge.
Good morning, guys. First of all, I want to know if the Villains have a NIL I can donate to, because all the supplies they're going to need for these rain hats, these Chucky dolls, and now Bane mask. These dudes are going to be busy up in that stands. Two quick things for you. First of all, shout out to the coaching staff. Every scout for every team is right on the money. And these guys go out there and execute it. So shout out to all the coaches, the managers, whatever, who all have a part in the game planning for the next team, because, man, I ain't never seen nothing like it before in my life. And the last thing, Kelly Dickey's stat may have been my favorite Kelly Dickey stat I've ever seen. Out of the 111 seasons of Louisville basketball, this team has beat teams on the road by 20 points or more. 5 teams. That's never been done. Marcus, I thought maybe y'all had done something like that. But in 111 seasons, never been done before. This is why this is not like people say, Pitino days is back. No, man, this is nothing like we've never seen before. And, Pitino had his era. Crum had his era. Man, Kelsey's got his era. This is the Kelsey era. I don't feel like we're still, in the Pitino or whatever, or we're still recovering from that, man. This is the Kelsey era in year one. And I'm ecstatic, man. So thanks for taking my call on the show as always.
Absolutely.
Thanks, sir.
Another big picture thing that pops out of your mind, Steve?
Well, first off, I like that call because I do agree that there's enough happening now that you do feel like, man, this might just be his era, man.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be anything past that. It might not be. I mean, like we're doing some good things. I heard Tino called in this morning to Druso and said, regardless, it's still the ACC. We're doing some of this in, man. Like, I mean, that's impressive. It's really impressive, man. So
I wouldn't waste somebody's time giving them this assignment. But if you go look at the accolades of the players that are out on these courts, these are studs. These are a lot of studs.
Yeah.
Like I said, our overall play and high IQ and execution. I mean, listen, even in the press conference, it's all these little things that I'm so happy that Coach Kelsey brings up in his post games, the taking care of your body, even the acknowledgement of the engineering department, reaching out to make a mask for James Scott.
Yeah.
Just talking about how guys take care of their body after games, get off your feet, it doesn't strike you as a team that does too, that you can tell they're getting the extra shots up, just all that good stuff that gets acknowledged. And you can just see it in the execution of the game plan. Go ahead.
Chase has that sound real quick. I wanted to play that for people who didn't hear that.
Fair enough.
About the mask, Coach Kelsey.
Have you ever had a player wear a mask like James tonight? It seemed like he gave him some trouble there early in the second half. And just how do you think?
Yeah, I mean, James, gosh darn. I mean, not only had all his teeth knocked out there, I mean, he's got facial fractures. They had to pull bone fragments out of his upper lip. I mean, it was a mess. And, he was texting me from the dentist chair saying, I'll be ready for practice tomorrow and I'm playing on Wednesday. And that's when I kind of said, James, let's kind of relax and talk to the medical people first. And, so he had to wear a mouthpiece, obviously. And then our engineering school at the University of Louisville, I don't know if you guys know this yet, but James went over there and they built the mask. They form fitted it to his face. They have all that technology over there. I mean, we made one phone call and the dean, and all of them were like, come on over. I mean, that's Louisville. That's how much basketball matters here. And they kind of designed his own mask. I mean, he's such a nice, sweet kid that's tough as nails. When he has that thing on, man, he looks like the bad guy in one of those murder movies or something like that. I mean, he's got like, it's got the lines right there, like, I don't know, Hannibal Lecter type thing. I don't know what it is.
Okay, you're gonna.
I saw him like, James, you look mean. I don't think he was like in the mood to hear that he looked mean, and he's got all this dental work that just happened and broken bones in his face, but he's tough. And, James is from right down the road. So coming back here means a lot to him. His mom's here. His grandfather's here, who he's named after. His grandfather's a veteran. He's out there. If you guys saw him in the wheelchair, and it was just awesome for him to see his grandson, his namesake, out here on the biggest stage in the ACC, catching lobs, getting his teeth knocked out, the whole gamut. It's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and he did look mean. There was no doubt about that.
Okay.
Fantastic.
You know what? Normally we take a break, but if we have Dr. Patel already on the line, I guess we
do.
We can go straight to him. Post Super Bowl, post Philly. Welcome, Dr. Patel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, it's good, and I'm like, wonder what Dr. Patel, from New Horizons Foot and Ankle's doing. It's around the Super Bowl, and I see pictures of you with the who's who down there, just hanging out, man, and like enjoying a Super Bowl dub. How was your week?
Yeah, listen, it was a great week, great weekend. Obviously, it was fantastic seeing the Eagles get the win. And met up with some great guys out there. I went out there with Chris Redmond from here. We met up with Billy Davis and some other guys over there, and it was a really good weekend. We got to see a lot of what the NFL Health is doing, the NFL alumni is doing, and how we're going to integrate some things that we're working on into that. And it was just it was a who's who. You're right. It was a great network of people that are doing different things. In and around the sport, but in and around health as well. And so it was a nice opportunity to be able to sit down and talk to some like-minded individuals on how we can protect athletes and make sure they have a good life after their career too.
What was the business versus pleasure ratio?
It was about 70% business, 30% pleasure, which is a good ratio for me.
And the fact that you were at the Super Bowl and your team won it, think about the amount of business that went on for that 30% pleasure to be so great. Like, that must be some serious business.
The stadium, the environment, Eagles fans are a acquired taste. But it's the kind of taste that I like. It was like I was in Philly. You saw Eagles fans everywhere. It was definitely outnumbered. There was more Eagles fans than Kansas City fans. And I have some friends from the Kansas side and on that team as well. So, listen, it was great to see them win in 2018. It was even better to see them win this time. And we have some great things coming up, some things that I'll reveal on your show. I'm actually heading out to London, England tomorrow for about a week for some other meetings. And when I get back, I should have some nice news to share with your listeners.
Wow. Well, we can't wait for that. And listen, here's the thing. You took Marcus. He has had a lot of W's since he's been, on this show and talking with us, and we have watched him be able to victory lap a lot of great things.
He doesn't do it enough, but yeah.
No, he doesn't do it enough. But here's the thing. He might have got his biggest win on this show the other day, and he made sure we knew it. Marcus, let me read you this headline.
I'm listening.
From Yahoo. Crocs hunted why some schools are banning the popular shoe. How about that? Listen, doctor.
Victory lap time.
Victory lap, because listen, you called this early. You called this early.
I've been saying it. you gave me a platform to say it louder, and it sounds like someone heard it.
So just
is
to
go ahead.
refresh everybody's memory. What is it in particular, the Croc thing that had your ire?
Here's the thing: it's become the shoe that I see almost every kid in, and when these kids are running around, they're active, they're playful, they're playing with their friends, and even in schools they're running around even though you're not supposed to run in the hallway, right?
Mm-hmm.
But twisting your ankle, twisting your leg, getting your shoe caught in something, it doesn't have a back to it that actually adheres to your foot. It's not really accommodated, and so the amount of motion that your foot can have and the twists in these turns can lead to serious injury, but at the same time, it also affects some of that growth phase as well, because nothing's controlled. And I'm seeing a lot of young kids that have had that, where they've been wearing Crocs for a long time, and even some older kids and even adults. And, they have ankle problems, they have foot problems. Listen, I'm not saying there's not a time ever for Crocs. I'm just saying it shouldn't be the shoe of choice for anything that's like a physical activity, which when you're a kid, everything's a physical activity. You wake a kid up to go brush their teeth and they're jumping out of bed sometimes, and that's a physical activity, right? And if you're using these shoes as your go-to, when you see these kids at the stores and when you see them out at the park, they're still wearing Crocs, and it drives me nuts because about the amount of strain you're putting on the foot and ankle joint, the amount of strain you're putting on their bones and muscles, ligaments, tendons. Not even all the bones are there yet, and so there's just a lot of risk with that shoe. Not saying it's a shoe that shouldn't be worn ever. I'm just saying if you're gonna wear it for maybe 5 minutes and then switch into something better.
Let me ask you this. I definitely had a phase in my youth where it was popular to not have the shoestrings tied and your shoes would just be loose, and not the ones you're going to actually play basketball in. But if you were going to say, okay, age group appropriate, is it better to wear a full tennis shoe versus like a running or walking shoe, or like what would be like is it an age group where you say, hey, you need to be wearing full tennis shoes right now while your feet are growing and maturing, or kind of like that? Or would you recommend a walking shoe?
No, listen, when your feet, so when you're growing and when you're young, there's great studies that show that being barefoot and things like this are beneficial because it actually helps with growth and helps with strengthening and things like this. As far as the shoes go, yes, absolutely something that's going to support the ankle, something that's going to be accommodative, functional, and supportive. As you get older, wearing a tennis shoe with the laces tied, all these things are important. There's great sandals out there too. I mean, I'm not saying don't wear sandals. I'm not saying don't wear, any other type of shoes, but protect your feet. It's kind of like the wheels on your car, right? So they're going to go through a lot throughout the years of your life. And most people don't think about it until they start having issues. And then what I've noticed in my career and even doctors that I speak to that have been doing it longer than me, the age group where we're starting to see serious foot and ankle issues has come down to the 35, 40, 50 year mark, whereas before we weren't seeing these issues till 70 plus. So that just tells you, I mean, the terrain's getting worse. The activity level might be getting a little bit higher as well. Obviously, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but the cost of goods is a lot higher now. So being able to afford good shoes is not as easy for everyone as possibly it was before. And the other thing is the manufacturers of these shoes are also cutting costs, right? Because they don't want to up their prices. Instead, what they're doing is they're dropping quality, which is, it's sad to see, but it's what's happening. And so I think making sure that, you're protecting your feet the same way you would wear, you wouldn't buy a jacket for a winter storm that's, got holes in it. Would you? You wouldn't do that. So the same thing with your feet, protect your feet at the furthest point in your body that the blood has to flow to from your heart, and then has to come all the way back and return vascular flow. So we're educating people on it. I'm seeing more people listen to what we're saying, and I think some of that's from your show. And And we really do try to do that in our seminars and our practice as well. Marcus, if I saw you without shoelaces tied, I would have tapped you on your shoulder and said, please don't do that to yourself. I see so many pro athletes that end up with injuries just because of that habit. It basically makes the foot uncontrolled again, and just a simple thing like stepping down from a curb can become an injury.
I want to do something here.
I did get tapped on my head for wearing my shoes like that. So yeah, right.
I would only do this if I really trusted the caller. And one of our great callers, Betty Johnson Chad, actually has a question for you, Dr. Patel, if you don't mind. We were going to pod him up really quick and let him. So Betty Johnson Chad, welcome in, man. Go ahead and ask a question, man. I trust you. Okay, that's the only reason I'm letting you do this. But you're the man. Go right ahead, sir.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Guys, as y'all know, I'm a touch of a gym rat, and so as a gym rat, and I do CrossFit with the lovely Christy Vanna occasionally.
Absolutely.
So being a CrossFit athlete, I do normally wear the 5-finger Vibrams, which kind of go with the barefoot thing. Just doing a lot of Olympic lifts and squats and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on those, Doc? If I can ask, and I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys. Go Cards.
Thanks, Chad. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah. So depending on the workouts that you're doing with CrossFit, that's high impact usually too. So I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest, because it depends. If you're not getting any foot pain yet, you might end up with foot pain later. It's not great. You want to have something that's shock absorptive, right? So keep in mind, whatever you weigh, you're pushing that down to the ground, even with just standing or walking. And the ground is pushing an equal and opposite reactionary force of that same weight back to your foot. So anything that where you're jumping or now if you're doing squats and you're taking an amount of weight and adding it to your body weight, you don't have anything protecting the bottom of your feet. As we get older, the fat padding and the things that kind of protect our feet starts to deteriorate and gets thinner. The skin gets thinner. This is, also with age, we start to see the bone shifting, what we call arthritis. And what we tend to forget is ligaments, tendons, muscles, they originate and insert on bone. So all these things are happening. And so as we get older, you want to make sure you're protecting your feet with something that can take some of that reaction force from the ground, especially if you're doing high impact activities. Now, I've had this conversation with a couple of friends that also like to wear things like this. And I've also had this conversation with some pro athletes that like to do squats and some of their weightlifting barefoot. They can't do it in shoes is what I've been told by them. And my thing is just go to YouTube and see how many people have actually busted their ankle when they don't have any support going into that ankle when they're coming down on a squat. It's important to protect your feet. It's important to make sure you have something that's shock absorption, a good shoe that can kind of protect your ankle, but also the bottom of your feet.
Well, Doctor, I don't think we could do any better with advice. We appreciate Betty Johnson Chad for the call. Dr. Patel, New Horizons Foot and Ankle. We're looking forward to getting you on next week.
Sounds good, guys. Have a great week.
Absolutely.
Right,
that was Dr. Patel. But there's nothing that's ever going to deteriorate on Betty Johnson Chad.
No,
he may be the one person that could disregard Dr. Patel's recommendation.
Mike, congrats on your new role in the Fantastic Four. I saw you on there.
Right. But no,
chiseled.
I tell you what, we'll take a quick commercial break, get a quick reset here on 93.9 The Ville.
Customer-focused technology experts, delivering equipment, service, and solutions for all your office, network, print, and mailing needs. Authorized IT support specialist on world-class products and solutions from Ricoh. Lexmark, HP, Epson, and FT Mailing Solutions will simplify your daily work processes wherever you're working.
For today,
And their commitment continues with their commercial print and mailing division, Derby City Litho. Discover the Ricoh Pro C9500 graphic print system for your outsourced print communication needs. Duplicator Sales, Derby City Litho Corporate Mailing Systems, and Rico. Call them at 502-589-5555 or visit them online at duplicatorsales.net or at their store, 831 East Broadway in Louisville, with offices in Elizabethtown, Lexington, Paducah, and London.
Salt eats cars. Road salt can do a number to your car's finish and underbody. A Mike's Car Wash Ultimate Plus Ceramic Wash clears road salt from your vehicle. Be ready for winter's worst with an Ultimate Plus Ceramic Wash from Mike's Car Wash. Open daily at 7 a.m.
Main Street is calling your name. Down One Bourbon Bar is ready to be your lunchtime or happy hour destination. Located right next to the KFC Yum Center and one of the hottest spots on the Urban Bourbon Trip, Down One is the perfect place to kick back before the big game or concert. We're here to prove that what tacos can't cure, whiskey will.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back, thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial Pound Law on your cell phone. That's pound 529, offices Louisville.
Sports fans, score big at Boom Bars Pizza and Wash Bar. Enjoy gourmet pizzas, game day specials, handcrafted cocktails, ice cold beer, and the best game day atmosphere in town. Boom Bars is the perfect spot for sports fans, private parties, and gatherings, with state-of-the-art audio and video systems making every game day special for the big game. Boom Bars Pizza and Wash Bar. Eat, drink, watch. Order online at boombars.com.
Championship Week on ESPN Louisville is presented by Boom Bars Pizza and Watch Bar. Eat, drink, watch.
Hey, Card fans, Attorney Sam Aguiar here, proud partner of U of L Athletics and ESPN Radio Louisville. Car wrecks can be a nightmare, and insurance companies are just going to make it worse. But when you're part of our team, we take care of those hassles so you can focus on getting better. We've helped thousands of Card fans get life-changing results on their claims, and it would be an honor to work for you too. So if you've been hurt in a car, give us a call at 502-888-8888 or check us out online at themanSam.com. And go Cards!
There's never been a better time to shop and save for your appliances, so come and visit us today at Chenoweth Appliances. Chenoweth Appliances carries GE refrigerators, GE washers, and GE dryers at the best prices in Kentuckiana. Take advantage of huge savings and rebates all month long. Don't pay more than you have to, so if you're building or remodeling or one of your appliances has seen better days, come in and find what you need. Locally owned Chenoweth on Taylorsville Road in J-Town or ChenowethAppliances.com. If you can't get it anywhere else, get it at Chenoweth.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off,
Georgia
and
Tech gets late
every
wins.
play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
I think Kanai's another one of
Gambling
them.
problem.
If he
Call
just goes
1-800-GAMBLER.
crazy
18 plus
on
only.
the
Must be
defensive
physically
end,
located
just
in Kentucky.
harasses, the ball's going to find him. He's going to
Most
find
people
his
don't
way
put
through
much thought into the
deflections
value
and
of a reliable
transition.
water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35
Straight
years
up.
of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage,
gotta find the
grinder
right-
pumps,
the right
and many more to
agreed
service
upon
all
amount.
residential, municipal, commercial, and industrial needs. Next time you think about pumps, think Kentuckiana Pump Sales, 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit
Oh, he did go bully ball, didn't he? Javon
Hey,
did go
Steve
bully
Roach
ball,
here.
didn't he?
You've probably heard all about the new regulations that have hit the real estate market, making the process more complex than ever. And if you're not working with the right real estate agent,
Do we
professional,
play
you can
Georgia
find
Tech
yourself
again?
out of bounds fast. That's why it's more
Do we get
important
them
than
at home?
ever to work with someone who has proven their expertise. Like my good friend Josh Jarbo. Josh was recently inducted into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame and named one of Louisville's 40 under 40. This guy knows the game inside and out. Josh and the team at RE/MAX Empire are the seasoned pros you want on your side. They know how to navigate the market, make the right calls, and get you the best deal every time. So don't let a cut rate agent make a rookie mistake and fumble your financial future. Whether you're buying, selling, or just need some mortgage advice, these are the folks you want in your corner. So here's the play. Call Josh Jarbo, 502-216-7590. Or check him out online at
I messed that up too, Sananda.
joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com. And here's a special offer just for you guys. Mention you heard it right here on 93.9 The Ville, and you're going to receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. I'll leave you with this. Top-notch service might seem expensive, but poor service can cost you a fortune. Don't settle for less than the best.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner of Remax Empire and co-founder of Modern Mortgage A to Z.
Rainy in Carolina.
225-6125.
What do you go?
Each office is independently owned and operated. Modern Mortgage A to Z is an equal house lender.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction.
No, George. Okay.
Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections.
Appreciate you, Jake.
And of course, they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502 for today.
Looking to restore your smile with less pain, less cost, and without the long or expensive surgeries. Freedom Mini Dental Implants uses small diameter implants to restore one tooth, multiple teeth, or bridges and implant-supported dentures. Financing options are available, so getting the care you deserve is easy. Visit freedomimplants.com and schedule consultation. Freedom Mini Dental Implants, get the freedom to smile.
Hey, Cards fans. Do you or a loved one suffer from
lemon
gout?
water.
Gout is a very
Stuff.
painful form of arthritis that can also
It's the only
lead
thing
to
I got
kidney
to
and heart
cheers.
disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and
Gee, mister.
FDA-approved treatments
Salute,
to get
salute,
you relief
salute.
fast.
I
If you have
appreciate you.
gout,
Sorry I
be
missed
sure
you.
to call the Gout Center of Excellence.
I
at
missed your cheers last night.
502-719-2472
I didn't have my phone up.
or visit them online at ralouisville.com. And be sure to tell them Marcus sent you.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean?
Does
Salute,
it not look
salute.
good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking
Wearing
amazing.
5 is probably
I can't
worth
believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
4
Your
extra
secret
points per
is
game.
Hair volume from New Nordic. Hair volume,
Just having
huh?
an awesome
Well,
number.
it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never
Ooh.
looked so thick. It is
I can do
gorgeous.
that.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I
But you
figured
still
I'd
take
give
'em,
hair
right?
volume a try. Needless
Mike.
to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going? I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month, and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural
what?
health products from New Nordic, the number one supplier of dietary supplements in
Nikki, do we
Scandinavia.
have somebody on the line or
Purchase at
something?
newnordicusa.com
No,
or your
no.
local
Saying
CVS.
I don't know
Available
why we
as a
have this
tablet
random
or
women's
delicious
hair
gummy.
supplement
Help your hair look
ad
full,
that we run.
voluminous, and beautiful again
you know,
at new
we got girls listening too, but-
NORDICUSA.com or CVS.
Hello, this is Dan McDonald, head baseball coach at the University of Louisville. You're listening to the home of Cardinal Baseball on 93.9 The Ville.
Go.
Ooh, oh, gosh darn it. Welcome back.
look, it's another game against the middle, back end of the pack that you show your separation, and you show that, listen, Louisville is one of the threats to win this conference. And and listen, it wasn't even just that. Wake Forest taking an L last night.
Oh, did you watch how they lost that game, Steve?
That was unreal.
Oh,
just an unreal game. The finish of that with the Florida State comeback. Then they tie it. Then Wake Forest goes up 2. Florida State hits a 3. Tyler Johnson hits a 40-footer with 7 seconds on the clock.
Did he channel his inner Sosa?
Yeah, it was like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
He had to have thought the clock was about to expire.
He thought.
The way he shot.
It was hitting 10 seconds, and he must have thought that was it. It was about to be zero.
Had to have been. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there. But then you get the foul on the 3. It was like, oh my gosh, man, like they might still pull this out. And it was wild. But them losing again, now, and Kelly Dickey said it last night, Louisville's 1 win away from a bye, a guaranteed Wednesday bye, and they're 4 wins away out of their next 6 from guaranteeing a double bye. Yeah. So, but there's a bigger deal with those double buys, and you want that 2 or 3. Because you want to avoid Duke until Saturday. And not that Clemson's going to be just the easiest out on planet Earth, don't get me wrong, because they're playing some good basketball right now. But you want to get that 2 or the 3, and Wake Forest losing definitely beefs up that possibility that you're in that 2-3 spot on Thursday.
Okay.
So it was a big picture night like that. Absolutely.
Big picture. I want to do my big picture compliments as well. I did enjoy, man. And for as much as you can enjoy, I'll say appreciate, Coach kind of walking you back through the James Scott situation and how bad he wanted to play and how focused he was on playing. That was great to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Steve, I saw something that I'm telling you, out of all the things to get excited about, I say little things that, okay, remember last game I said the interaction between Chucky Hepburn and Traore and Coach, how they willed that thing, they got that, whatever emotions, clashed during the game, how they got that back under control. I said, that is what you'll see later on. That right there is what gets you through the tournament or through the first round.
Yeah.
Or, us being able to lock in, put our emotions aside. And if somebody has revved up emotions, we can get them under control just through team accountability, right?
Absolutely.
I saw another thing that I say, okay, this is what's going to get me, let's just say, for vibe. If we were going to say, this is what gets me to the second weekend. When that kid, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When that guy fell on Chucky Hepburn and they got into that skirmish, I saw something in Chucky Hepburn that we really hadn't seen all year. Just that something touched a nerve on Chucky Hepburn. And you know how just you see him focused, and you know how we compliment them because we say the facial expressions never change.
Yep.
Chucky Hepburn's expression changed. The way Javon Hadley, I remember you remember when Coach David Padgett grabbed, was it Ray Spalding?
No, it's Darius Perry.
Was it Darius Perry?
Yeah, and he grabbed him by the back of the jersey and just threw him into the huddle.
Yeah, right. Or yeah. Just that kind of.
That was awesome.
Direct energy. Like, no, Javon Hadley, the way he got in the middle of that because he saw Chucky's face, and I'm telling you, Steve, I started thinking last night. Do you realize Chucky is not turning it on yet. Do you realize that Chucky's been through like seasons and tournaments before, like Big Ten entire seasons? He knows, like when like I'm gonna use this year to get everybody involved and learn how to play off of people and all that good stuff. I saw yesterday that Chucky Hepburn is probably just cruising at about 82% right now. And when Chucky Hepburn really wants to lower his head and get to that basket, and his layup package, he doesn't even, like, he's not really using, like, we've seen the offhand layup once or twice, but when he started putting that ball on a string, like, I'm like, he's got another level. He's got another level or two, and he's going to bring it out come tournament time. This is going to be like the nasty version of Chucky Hepburn coming down the stretch, and I'm like, I cannot wait to see him, when,
Well, speaking of that really quick, somebody said, can you guys explain the physics of Chucky's reverse higher than the backboard layup that went in? My brain cannot process what happened.
I'm just going to say, okay, you know what I'm going to call it? Zoning. Zoning. Listen, okay, I was explaining this to somebody recently. How far is the 3-point line, Steve?
What is it, 24? Is it 24 and a half, I think?
Okay, 24 and a half.
I think it's...
Let's say, okay, let's 25 feet, right? 25 feet. And like the trajectory of a basketball.
20. Oh, man, I was off. No, it's 22. 22 and 3/4. So
okay. The trajectory of a basketball has to be so precise that if you're a little off when you release it, by the time it gets to the basket, it's really off. Just because somebody can make a 3-pointer look easy, like it's you have to have confidence in your form. You have to have confidence. The smallest bit of confidence lacking makes it barely miss. Like, I've seen more Rain Smith rim outs than I've ever seen in my life. And he's like, just rim outs, just barely. And he's a confident shooter.
Yeah.
Chucky, when he's confident, like, he's totally zones out. Like, the ball just floats out of his hand and it goes where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to say that layup was just, I'm so confident I could throw up anything and it's going in. Because once he got that look on his face, he was like, okay, Steve, you don't give high fives at an opponent's arena unless you're showing out. Somebody irritated you and you're like, okay, this is my gym now. This is my gym. This is my basketball court. I'm going to do these fancy layups and I'm just going to show out.
Yeah. And look, and I'm just going to put it up. That I think it's also some trust in your teammate too. Like, hey man, I want to put it up on the glass here. I'm going to put it up there. Something good will happen, by playing hard. And that's exactly what happened.
Did we shoot like 63% from the 3-point
line? It
had
to be good. Listen, it everything. Just had to be good. Because it felt like when things went up, like you were, the confidence level last night was just through the roof.
Have you ever been on a court where you just felt like every shot, like ever watched your Louisville team and you just felt like every shot from every player is going to go in?
I was like, yeah, I've had a men's league game actually one time. I was just on fire. This is fantastic.
I'm just saying, like, legitimately watching, like when the ball went out to when James Scott threw
Yeah,
that,
we were 10 of 11 last night. Sorry, I mean to interrupt.
that was from the
10
free
or
throw.
11. So 90. That was free throw.
Yeah,
3-point line. We were 11 for 19. So 58% basically.
No, we were 63% from the floor, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
64% from the floor. So 63.6. So I'm a round up. 64% from the floor. 35 of 55.
Yeah, I just like I said, when the ball went around to Javon Hadley, it looks like it's going like you're expecting the ball to just go in so often. Because it's like we have a team full of I wouldn't shoot it unless I knew it was going in.
I mean, Chucky was 5 of 7. Kadir was 4 of 5. Terrence was 8 of 12. Javon was a 7 for 11. Rain was 7 for 12, and James was 3 for 4. That's pretty good.
Props to Coach Kelsey for making sure James got that drawn up alley-oop too.
Yeah.
just good pass. I couldn't tell, but I'm like, did he really jump that high on that one to get it?
Oh, I know. Well, they overthrew him
on the other
3 times last night. Well, no, but last night Chucky overthrew him once. Rain overthrew him once.
Yep. I saw Rain.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of tapping his chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They. Hey, by the way, my guy Jarbo was checking in. He wanted to make sure that you got your bottle and hat.
I do. He didn't see it on the shelf. It's on the shelf on the YouTube channel every night.
He was very adamant to know that you got that.
I did actually. I did, and
James didn't.
Yeah,
and you can go ahead and play this out, Nikki. And Jalen was going to take it, and I didn't let him.
Oh, no, sir.
Jalen looked at the shelf and said, "You got some good stuff up here," and I was like, "Yeah, that's off limits, Playboy."
Yep.
Has your dad taken that shirt that Janky gave you yet?
Not yet, but he's coming in soon, and the trap is set. Rolling along, Steve. Nikki, land the plane. 93.9 The Ville.